Hey guys, Fox here, and today we are now in the new year, and that comes new news, as USFL Network has just leaked some more news about potential hubs for the 2023 season. Now, they are saying that the Generals and Maulers are going to be playing in Canton, Ohio, and the Panthers and Stars will be playing in Detroit, Michigan. So, if you want the Detroit side of this and basically talk about that, I have a video on the top right you can click on, as I did one based on John DeFilippo saying that they were going to be playing in Memphis and Detroit is two other hub cities a while back. So we've kind of known about this, but we didn't know about Canton until, this leak. And there's some weird stuff about it that I'll get to. So, to compare them to the Detroit drive versus the, Canton drive, considering the fact that that's the way most people would end up going to a game is if, for home teams, you can drive there. So, for East Rutherford or New Jersey, where the Generals would be, they're going to be saving about 2 hours and 15 minutes. Not a huge save in terms of time-wise, but it is a save nonetheless. As I've said before, it would have been better if they were able to get Philadelphia, but probably things just didn't work out, or they just weren't able to do it, or they're going to wait till next year. But a shorter drive is a shorter drive. Now, for the other hub city that's going to be playing there is Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is only 2 hours away versus the 4 hours and 15 minutes to Detroit. So that's also a pretty huge time save, and that one makes it to where it's a drive that some people would not do to go to a game versus one where a 2 hour drive is pretty reasonable. If it's 3 or under, I think that's pretty reasonable to drive there. But here's the reason it doesn't make really any sense, is that while yes, that's cool, that's, a pretty close drive and stuff, Philadelphia to Detroit is 8 hours and 40 minutes versus to Canton, which is 6.5 hours. So, there's a lot of ways you can view this. Either A, that they want to have one team that's kind of close to their home stadium. In this case, Pittsburgh would be kind of the de facto home team for Canton. And then you'd have Detroit for Michigan, naturally. Or it's you view it as the Maulers might potentially be changing to be some sort of team in Ohio. Either they, try to, put a foothold there and then go to somewhere else in Ohio to be a team, or they want to stay in Canton and become the Canton Maulers or the Ohio Maulers or something like that. Those are all potential options that now we have to actually talk about, because there's no real reason why they would have the team that is closer to Detroit play in Canton rather than have the two teams far away come there. So definitely some, potential theories for that. We'll probably have to wait and see for sure about them, but it's definitely a weird thing. As for Canton, they're going to probably be playing in the Hall of Fame Stadium naturally. They're going to be playing where they played the playoff games, which is a solid idea. The turnout for those games was pretty respectable considering how bad it was for the non-Stallions games in Birmingham. They definitely did get some respectable amounts of fans in these games. So I definitely could understand them doing that. As naturally people go to, Canton to go to the Hall of Fame. They can go to a football game too. I think it's a pretty cool idea overall and definitely would help some travel. So I do get that too. As I can understand having, this makes me question more about Philadelphia and the Generals. If you have them play there, people who are going to just go to Canton to go to, the Hall of Fame could now end up deciding to go there when there's a football game being played too, to give more reason for outside fans to come there. So it makes me really do believe that theory that maybe the Maulers are going to be the next team to change because of that. But we'll see. Overall, this was some cool news. Just was dropped out. We'll know more for sure later, naturally. But this has been Fox. If you enjoyed this content, want to be notified as soon as I upload any videos, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell. And as always, have a great night.